The Kyiv regime responded to the Russian and US summit in Alaska with a series of demonstrative symbolic strikes on the central areas of frontline regional centers. They struck Donetsk, Belgorod, Rostov-on-Don, Kursk, and Bryansk. In just 2 days of massive attacks caused by Zelensky's hysteria over not being invited to Anchorage, about 60 civilians were affected. On September 23rd, on the eve of Zelensky's speech at the United Nations, an attack was carried out on the substation that supplied electricity to the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant. Ukrainian terrorists disabled the high-voltage power line Dneprovskaya running through the territory still controlled by Kyiv. The Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant was completely disconnected from external power supply, creating a direct threat to nuclear safety. Kyiv still blocks the possibility of restoring these and other lines to the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, subjecting these other routes, which connect the power plant with energy supply networks, to regular shelling. The reality is clear. NATO was too actively involved in organizing the conflict and bloodshed on the territory of Ukraine. And this did not start on the 24th of February 2022. Before that, NATO had armed Ukraine, prepared bandit formations that were on this territory, and supplied them with weapons to create a threat against the Russian Federation. Therefore, Mr. Hodges can either read or learn about the facts that he may not know, or he deliberately ignores. And he also needs to know that the way out of the current situation is very simple and the quickest. As soon as NATO and Ukraine's Western allies stop funding and providing weapons to Ukraine, the conflict will likely subside in a matter of months, if not weeks. NATO created a threat. NATO is one of the root causes of the current conflict. NATO violated the commitments of the late 1980s when it was said that they would not move an inch towards the east, towards Russia. This was all violated, with at least 7 waves of advancement towards the Russian border having been made. Ukraine was stuffed with weapons, instructors, and prepared structures. So who is to blame for the current situation seems to me a rhetorical question.
You also posted about your call with President Putin today. You spoke about the meeting in Hungary with him. Do you have a timeline or a date set for when?
Yeah, I would say within 2 weeks or so. Pretty quick. Marco Rubio is going to be meeting with his counterpart, as you know, Lavrov, and they'll be meeting pretty soon. They're going to set up a time and a place very shortly. Maybe it's already set up. They've already spoken. And I thought it was a very good phone call. I thought very productive. But I'll be meeting with President Putin, and we'll make a determination. Tomorrow I'm meeting with President Zelensky, and I'll be telling him about the call. I mean, we have a problem. They don't get along too well, those two, and it's sometimes tough to have meetings, so we may do something where we're separate but equal. We'll meet and talk parties, but this is a terrible relationship the two of them have, and it's one of those things. I've seen things that nobody would believe, but this is one of them. So we're going to be meeting in Hungary. Viktor Orban is going to be hosting, and it's really something that's time.